Why after all these years do I still feel incomplete? Why after all these years do I still feel not whole? Do I still feel separate? Do I still have this sense of yearning for something I can't even name? Why do I still have this frustration, or this doubt, or this anger, or this confusion? After all these years, why are these thoughts and these feelings still here? And I really want to, just for a few minutes on this webcast, really go into this question, the core of this question, because of course at the very heart of this question, there is a misunderstanding actually about the healing journey, about the awakening journey. Saying that something is still here, why are these thoughts still here? Or why is this feeling still here? Why is this pain still here? Why is this doubt still here? Implies, doesn't it, that we had this idea, we had this imagination, we had this fantasy, we had this goal that by now it would be gone, right? And maybe this fantasy, of course, was fed by very well-meaning sometimes teachers and gurus and authorities and, you know, authors. We're promised sometimes, we are promised, you know, by the teachers and the gurus. We're promised, you know, if you work hard enough on yourself, if you meditate hard enough, if you go to all my courses and classes and read all my books and blah, 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 if you go to therapy enough, you know, we're promised by some people that, yeah, one day your doubts will evaporate. One day your mind will be a silent mind. One day all your negative thoughts will disappear. One day your sadness will disappear. One day your frustration will disappear. One day that longing, that sense of incompleteness, that sense of loneliness or emptiness in your gut, one day, we're promised, this will disappear. So sometimes we just look into our experience and it's almost like we're wondering, well, why hasn't this part of me disappeared yet? Why haven't these thoughts, these images in my mind disappeared yet? I thought that's what was supposed to happen. I was promised that. You look into your body, you look into your real-time embodied experience. Why is this sadness still here? Why hasn't this sadness disappeared yet with everything I've done, with all the work I've done, with all my understanding? Why hasn't this sadness disappeared yet? Why hasn't this fear disappeared yet? So what I really want to say in this this short time we have together, there's no such thing as yet. What I mean by that is there is only this present moment. That's all we ever have. That's all we're ever called to face, is this present moment, this now, this breath, these sounds, these sensations. The moment we're thinking in terms of yet, why hasn't this thought gone yet? Why hasn't this feeling gone yet? We're actually in an illusion. See, that is the mind's version of healing. That is the mind's version of awakening. You know, this idea that once we are healed, or once we're awakened, that this thought will disappear or this feeling will disappear. So we actually carry, consciously or unconsciously, we carry an image of what healing is supposed to look like. We carry an image of what awakening is supposed to look like. And of course, this image is fueled, again, by well-meaning, sometimes teachers and gurus, and they say that once you become awakened, or once you reach this place called healing, then you won't have these thoughts, you won't have these feelings, then you'll only have positive thoughts, you'll only have nice, happy thoughts. Or then, once you get to this place, this future destination called healing, called awakening, or even called happiness, we even make happiness into a goal. Once you get there, then your doubts will evaporate. Your sadness will evaporate. Your longing will evaporate. Your loneliness will evaporate. So this is the promise. What I would say is this is the lie. This is the lie of healing. This is the lie of awakening. And it's a beautiful lie, actually. It's a beautiful dream. I mean, there was many years ago for me, like there was one point in my life years ago when I was really struggling that actually I bought into that dream. I bought into that lie. I wanted to believe that one day I would reach this place, this destination, this fixed point called healing, or called awakening, or called happiness, or called completion, called salvation, whatever the mind had called it, this destination. I would get there, and then everything would be perfect, and then I would be whole. Then I would be whole and awakened and healed, and no more nasty thoughts, pure silent mind, no more difficult feelings. And I was chasing that for so many years, trying to get there, always trying to get there. My mind had made healing into a destination. It had made awakening into a destination. And what I say to people sometimes is, I'm not even saying that's wrong to have that dream. I'm not even making that dream wrong, that hope wrong. I think at one point years ago, for me, having that hope, having that dream, I think it saved my life. I think it saved my life, believing that one day I'd reach this place. But what happened is I spent many, many years desperately trying to get there and exhausting myself in the process, becoming so exhausted trying to get there. And then, as I've shared before in my books, on Facebook, at some point, that whole illusion fell away, that there was a there to get to, a there called healing, or called awakening, or called fully awakened, or fully healed, or even called happiness. So the mind makes happiness, healing, awakening into a destination. Then, of course, what happens, the shadow side of that, I'm not saying it's wrong, it's so natural, but the shadow side of that is it leads to this question. It's like, ugh, why am I still like this? Why do I still have these thoughts spinning around, driving me crazy? Why do I still have this sadness in my belly, or this frustration in my chest, or this longing, this loneliness? Why? It's like, why are you still here? It's like saying to a thought, or saying to a feeling, why are you still here? It's like saying to confusion, or saying to frustration, or saying to loneliness, why are you still here? I hoped you would have gone by now. That was the promise. Thoughts, sensations, feelings, why are you still here? So that's the illusion. That's the dream. That's the lie, that one day we're going to reach this perfect place. Of course, what happens, what awakening is really about, and what healing is really about, is the following. Healing is not a destination. It's not a place that you get to. It's not an end point. If we're talking about true healing, we're not talking about a future place. If we're talking about true healing, we're talking about wholeness. Heal and whole are from the same root. To heal means to be whole, and the only place that wholeness can be found is in the present moment, not in the future. The only place that true healing can be found is not in the mind and its futures, because when we're talking about the future, we're always talking about the mind. The mind lives in the future, the heart lives in presence. So if we're talking about true healing, discovering true healing, we're talking about discovering wholeness, or remembering wholeness where we are. And now we're talking about true meditation, the rediscovery or the remembrance of wholeness right where we are, the wholeness actually that we are. And this is what I've been talking about and pointing to for many, many years now. This wholeness, this oneness that we've been seeking in time, in the future, is actually right here, in this present moment. It's a wholeness that actually includes every thought, every sensation, every feeling, even the difficult thoughts, even the scary thoughts, even the difficult feelings, even the uncomfortable feelings, the sadness, the grief, even that deep sense of loneliness or longing or emptiness that you've had in your belly like your whole life and you've never quite been able to get rid of. So here's the thing, getting rid of, that's the mind's idea of healing, right? The mind says, how can I get rid of these thoughts? How can I get rid of these feelings? How can I get rid of my pain, get rid of my fear, get rid of my sadness? The mind does not understand true healing. True healing has nothing to do with getting rid of. This is what I often say, is that the heart, what you truly are, has never heard of this idea of getting rid of. It doesn't make any sense. Getting rid of some aspect of the present moment, getting rid of thoughts, getting rid of feelings, getting rid of sensations. That's the mind's version of healing. The heart has never heard of getting rid of. All the heart knows is embrace. All the heart knows and is allowing, making room for. If we're talking about true meditation, we're talking about making room for all thoughts, every thought, the positive thoughts, the negative thoughts, the happy thoughts, the sad thoughts. We're talking about making room for the joy as well as the sadness, the excitement as well as the boredom. You know, blissful, happy feelings, yes, of course. But what we start to remember is that the difficult feelings, uncomfortable feelings, feelings of sadness and frustration and doubt and loneliness and grief and longing, they also must have a place in us. So we start to remember our true nature is vast. There is so much room in the presence that we are, the heart that we are, this holding field called presence. And so what I often say is, and this is really, now I'm really getting to the core of things, that true healing is not about this getting rid of thoughts, getting rid of feelings. Thoughts, sensations, feelings, sadness, doubt, fear, whatever is here with you right now. I mean, check, you know, every moment can be meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be something we do with our eyes closed, you know, and the sitting on the floor cross-legged. We can do meditation with our eyes open. We can do meditation walking through the park or the forest or the shopping mall. We can do meditation now. Meditation isn't really a doing. It's more like becoming curious. So what's with you now as you sit here listening? Is there something in your experience that is calling for attention, calling for help, calling for love? What's with you right now? What's sitting with you right now? What's hanging out with you in presence? Maybe a boredom, a frustration, a longing, a sorrow. What wants to be touched? What wants to be embraced? What wants to be included in this holding space? So what I always say is, you know, thoughts, sensations, feelings, they don't come to you to be healed. What I often do is invite people to give up trying to heal. However crazy that sounds and counterintuitive, give up trying to heal your thoughts, sensations, feelings, and instead drop into this space of holding. Thoughts, sensations, feelings, your sadness, your pain, your fear, it doesn't arise to be healed, actually. It doesn't want you to heal it. It wants to be held in this present moment, which is all there is. There is only this moment. So it's the shift from trying to fix your experience, trying to heal your experience. It's the shift from trying to get there, trying to get to the destination, to instead being fully present, being with your experience. The shift from trying to heal your experience to holding, from healing to holding. Holding yourself exactly as you are. This is true meditation. Holding yourself exactly as you are. Holding your thoughts, holding your sensations, holding your feelings. Allowing. And as I always say, because of course the mind can even make allowing into a new thing. Oh no, I've got to allow now. Well, that's my new thing I have to do. I have to allow everything. It's simpler than that. If what's arising in your experience is a sense of non-allowing, a sense of resistance or non-acceptance or non-holding, we can just gently notice even that can be allowed to be here. Even the resistance, even the non-acceptance, even the non-holding can be held in this space of presence, in this vast field that we are. In the same way that right now, the chair that you're sitting on, just notice how it's holding you unconditionally without asking you anything. You know, the chair that you're sitting on right now is just holding you exactly as you are, with all your aches and your confusion and the heaviness, your frustrations. The chair you're sitting on, the ground itself, the earth itself right now is just simply effortlessly holding you exactly as you are, exactly as you are. Exactly as you are, with all of these thoughts going through your mind, with all these sensations tingling, vibrating, pulsating in your body as you listen to me. You are already being held. You are already being held by this mysterious, pre-verbal, unspeakable presence. Even if you're unable to hold yourself right now, even if you feel unable to embrace your own experience, even if you feel unable to meditate, this is the beauty of true meditation. There is something deeper, something primal, something ancient, something mysterious holding you, holding us all, wherever we are in the world, wherever you are right now, however you feel, whatever's happening in your mind, whatever's happening in your body, there is something, and it comes before words. And this is what I've spent the past 10 or so years trying to put words to, is this unspeakable holding field, this unspeakable presence, which is not a destination. It's not a place to get to. Awakening, enlightenment, healing, happiness actually is not a place you get to one day. It's actually already here, but we can't understand that. We can't get there with our minds. It's even there in our non-understanding, in our confusion. Even sitting here, listening to these words, not understanding what Jeff is going on about. Your mind not able to understand it. Even if there's confusion right now, just notice how that confusion can just be here for a moment. That confusion can just be here. It doesn't have to, we don't have to rush to make it into a problem, something to fix, something to heal, something to get rid of. We can just gently sink back into our present experience, allowing what's here, and on a deeper level, just noticing that we are already held by the chair, by the ground, by the earth. In this space together, we're held exactly as we are. So that's why you're not healed yet. There's no such thing as yet. There really isn't. And that's why you're not awakened yet or enlightened yet. There really is. When you look deeply into your experience, you will discover there is no such thing as yet. That concept of yet, that idea yet, causes so much suffering, because what it does, it makes us reject, it makes us refuse and reject and turn against where we are. I don't want to be here, I want to be there. And what true meditation really is about is just beginning to deconstruct that whole seeking mechanism. I don't want to be here, I want to be there, some other place, having some other experience. The call of true meditation is no, come back to this experience, be here, however uncomfortable, however much this present experience doesn't match the dream, however much your present experience doesn't match the image, the idea, the destination. What we're invited to do in meditation is begin to gently let go of the destinations, let go of the image of how this moment should be, the thoughts we should be thinking, the sensations we should be having, the feelings we should be feeling. Throw away the image This is the invitation of meditation. Burn the image, throw away the image. The image is not real, it's secondhand, it's not who you truly are. And we can be so unkind to ourselves and so violent to ourselves even when we try to make ourselves into an image, a secondhand image. We try to fit the promise. So meditation takes some courage, the courage to throw away the promise, throw away the false hope, throw away the image, and to gently turn back towards our experience, to become curious, to become fascinated. What's here? Not trying to heal ourselves or fix ourselves or awaken ourselves. Throw away the illusion that one day will be healed or one day will be awakened, whatever that means, or enlightened, whatever that means. It's all the mind making that up. And just beginning to drench, to infuse, to saturate our present experience with this loving, curious attention. Can we be here? That's the invitation of meditation. Can we be here just for a moment? Just for a moment. So the reason you're not healed or awakened yet is because there's no such thing in that sense as healing or awakening. What there is this vast holding field, this healing field. Awakening is not a destination. What there is this vast awakeness. What you are is already awake. It cannot awaken. It's already awake. You have always been awake. You have always been awake. It's your true nature. So that's why as well that when we say, why are these thoughts still here? Why are these feelings still here after all the work I've done on myself, with all my evolution? Why is this sadness still here? Why is this fear still here? Still is the illusion. Still. Why are these thoughts still here? Why are these feelings still here? Why is this doubt still here? Throw away that illusion, and instead of saying to fear or doubt or grief, why are you still here? Say, hey, can I be still here? Thoughts, sensations, feelings, grief, sadness, loneliness. Instead of why are you still here, which is a violent conversation, it's a resistant conversation. Say to loneliness, say to sadness, say to anger, say to doubt, hey, doubt, fear, sadness, thoughts, hey, I want to be still here with you. Not why are you still here, but can I be still here with you, and invite loving attention into you, curiosity, fascination, awareness, infuse you with awareness, let you be still here with me, just for this moment. And we even let go of trying to let go of